I remember a time, many years ago now, when I thought more was always better, especially when it came to feeding the soil. I had a new vegetable patch, and I was eager for a bountiful harvest. So, I did what I thought was right. I sourced a huge steaming pile of fresh farmyard manure. It felt like I was giving my garden the richest, most powerful meal imaginable. I spent a whole weekend lovingly digging it into the beds, convinced I was setting my plants up for glorious success. The earthy smell filled the air, and I felt a deep sense of satisfaction. I was a proper gardener, feeding the earth. Come spring, my enthusiasm quickly turned to disappointment. The seedlings I planted struggled from the very start. My lettuces were weak and yellow, their leaves looking burnt at the edges. The carrots refused to grow into anything more than stunted, forked little things. It was a disaster. At first, I couldn't understand what had gone wrong. I had given the soil everything I thought it needed, and in huge quantities. It seemed impossible that such a rich addition could have caused such a poor result. The soil looked dark and crumbly, but my plants were telling me a very different story. Looking back, the signs were all there. The manure was far too fresh. It was still hot, as we say, full of ammonia and salts that were simply too strong for the delicate roots of young plants. Instead of feeding them, I had essentially poisoned them. The high nitrogen levels were burning the roots before they even had a chance to establish themselves. It was a harsh lesson, but a vital one. I learned that the soil is a living, breathing system. It is not a bottomless stomach that you can just stuff with the richest food you can find. It needs balance. This experience completely changed my approach to gardening and, more specifically, to soil health. It taught me to be patient and to work with nature, not against it. Piling on raw nutrients is a bit like shouting at someone to make them understand you better. It rarely works. Instead, I began a journey to understand what the soil truly needs, especially during the quiet, dormant months of winter. I discovered that building a healthy garden is less about grand, dramatic gestures, and more about a series of small, thoughtful actions that create a resilient and thriving ecosystem from the ground up. So, what exactly is the problem with fresh manure? It seems so natural, so right. The issue lies in its raw, uncomposted state. Fresh manure is incredibly high in nitrogen, particularly in the form of ammonia. While plants need nitrogen to grow, this much, all at once, is overwhelming. It acts like a chemical burn on tender roots, scorching them and preventing them from absorbing water and other essential nutrients. This is why you often see yellowing leaves and stunted growth in beds that have been treated with manure that hasn't had time to rot down properly. It's simply too potent. Furthermore, fresh manure can contain harmful pathogens and a host of weed seeds. When you spread it directly onto your garden, you are potentially introducing diseases that could harm your plants and a new generation of weeds that you will be fighting all next season. The composting process, which involves letting manure rot down for at least 6 months to a year, is crucial. This period allows the heat of the compost pile to kill off most of the dangerous bacteria and weed seeds, making it safe for your garden. It also breaks down the harsh compounds. Excessive manure, even if it is well rotted, can also create an imbalance in the soil's nutrients. It can lock up other essential minerals, making them unavailable to your plants. Think of it like a diet. If you only eat one type of food, even a healthy one, you will eventually suffer from deficiencies in other areas. The soil is the same. It requires a balanced diet of different organic materials to maintain its structure and provide a full spectrum of nutrients for the plants that live in it. Simply adding tons of manure can disrupt this delicate balance. The key is to think of manure not as a meal, but as one ingredient in a much larger recipe for healthy soil. Well-rotted manure, used sparingly, can be a wonderful soil conditioner, but it is not a cure-all. It is far more important to focus on building the overall structure and life within your soil. This involves adding a variety of organic matter, encouraging beneficial organisms, and protecting the soil from the elements, especially during the harsh winter months. A light touch is often the most effective one. As the days grow shorter and a chill settles in the air, the garden appears to fall asleep, but beneath the surface the soil in December is anything but dormant. This is a crucial time of rest and recovery. The intense activity of the growing season is over. The constant demand from plant roots for water and nutrients has ceased. This quiet period allows the soil to begin a slow, natural process of rebuilding. The worms, microbes, fungi, and bacteria that form the soil's living web are still at work, just at a much slower pace. Winter weather plays a vital role in this process. Rain soaks deep into the ground, replenishing moisture reserves that were depleted during the summer. In colder climates, the freezing and thawing cycle can be incredibly beneficial. As water in the soil freezes, it expands, pushing soil particles apart. When it thaws, the particles settle back down. This repeated action helps to break up heavy, compacted clay soils, creating a finer, more crumbly texture. This natural cultivation improves drainage and aeration, making it easier for roots to penetrate the soil come spring. This is why December is such an important month for us as gardeners. It is our opportunity to help this natural process along. By protecting the soil now, we ensure that it is in the best possible condition for planting in a few months' time. Leaving soil bare and exposed over winter is one of the biggest mistakes a gardener can make. Heavy winter rains can wash away valuable topsoil and its nutrients, a process called erosion. The force of the raindrops can also compact the surface, creating a hard, impenetrable crust. So, instead of seeing December as an ending, we should see it as a beginning. It is the start of the next gardening year. The work we do now to protect and gently feed the soil is an investment that will pay huge dividends. It is about creating a resilient foundation. A healthy, well-structured soil will hold moisture better, drain more effectively, and provide a welcoming home for the billions of microorganisms that are our greatest allies in the garden. This quiet preparation is the true secret to a successful harvest. So, if we are not piling on the manure, what should we be doing in December? The goal is simple: cover and feed the soil gently. The best way to do this is by adding a thick layer of organic matter, often called a mulch. This acts like a protective blanket, shielding the soil from the winter's work. It prevents soil erosion from heavy rain, suppresses winter weeds, and insulates the ground, protecting the delicate web of life within it from extreme cold. This blanket is the single most important thing you can give your garden for winter. You have many excellent alternatives to manure for your winter mulch. Homemade garden compost is perfect, as it contains a wide range of nutrients from all the different materials you added to your heap. Leaf mold is another fantastic choice. It is particularly good at improving soil structure and retaining moisture. You can also use shredded bark, straw, or even wood chippings. The key is to apply a generous layer, at least 2 to 3 inches deep, directly on top of the bare soil in your vegetable beds and borders. This layer of mulch does more than just protect the soil. Over the winter months, earthworms and other soil creatures will slowly draw this organic matter down into the ground. As they digest it, they incorporate it into the soil, improving its structure and fertility naturally. They do the digging for you. This slow, steady process builds a wonderful crumbly soil texture that is full of air pockets and channels for water. This is far more beneficial than the sudden shock of digging in a large amount of powerful manure. Another brilliant technique is to sow a green manure, or cover crop. These are plants grown specifically to protect and enrich the soil. Hardy varieties like winter rye, field beans, or phacelia can be sown in early autumn. They grow through the winter, their roots holding the soil together and preventing erosion. In spring, before they set seed, you simply chop them down and leave the foliage on the surface to rot down as a mulch, or you can dig it lightly into the top few inches of soil. This adds valuable organic matter and nutrients right where they are needed. The difference between my old manure-heavy method and my new patient approach is like night and day. Where I once had struggling yellow plants, I now have robust, healthy growth. The soil in my garden is now dark, crumbly, and teeming with life. When I put my spade in the ground, it slides in easily, and the soil is full of earthworms, a sure sign of a healthy ecosystem. My vegetables are more resilient to pests and diseases, and they taste better too. This is because they are growing in a balanced soil that provides everything they need when they need it. I encourage you to try a little experiment. This December, take 2 small, empty beds. On one, follow the old advice and dig in a heavy load of manure. On the other, simply cover it with a thick mulch of garden compost or leaf mold and leave it alone until spring. Come planting time, sow the same seeds in both beds and watch what happens. I am confident that you will see a remarkable difference. The mulched bed will likely produce stronger, healthier plants because its soil structure is superior and its nutrient release is slow and steady. Building good soil is not a quick fix. It is a long-term relationship. It requires patience and observation. Every action you take in December should be focused on supporting the soil's natural processes. Clear away dead annuals, but leave the roots in the ground to rot down. Add your mulch blanket. If you have a compost heap, give it a turn to help it along. These small, simple tasks don't feel dramatic, but they are profoundly effective. They are the quiet work that underpins all future success. So, I urge you to embrace a gentler way this winter. Step away from the steaming manure pile and look instead to the fallen leaves, the finished compost, and the power of cover crops. By working with nature to build your soil structure and life, you're not just preparing for one good harvest. You're creating a garden that will be fertile, resilient, and productive for many, many years to come. That is the true reward of good gardening. It is a legacy of health that you build, season by season, from the ground up.